Hi guys, it's Chrystal Lynn, and I don't know, I'm just having one day after another of just such cool inspirational thoughts and deep thoughts and profound thoughts. So whatever's going on up there, I'm getting it. um, I'm not really sure. I don't have like this major plan for this video. I just know that it's gonna mean a lot to me. Um, because when you start to discover the beautiful art and the beautiful scientific rhythms that astrology lends us, you start to look at everybody in a different way. And you're literally able to see the stories, especially the family stories, much better. Um, Recently, my mom and I were talking, and she loves all this. When I get into all this, she tries to act like she doesn't believe it, but she does have her Venus in Scorpio, and so she can't take it. She's got to know when I talk about these kind of things. So I got my grandmother's birthdays, and she found them, and we looked them up, and I was like, oh my gosh, now I see the whole story, what happened, all the stories of like, my mom trying to, just struggles that people have in families, and my mom trying to explain it and feeling like nobody believed her, and just all those things, and then also seeing from their perspectives because of their astrological lineups. I can see now how they really thought about things. And at the same time, in my mind, it brings so much healing to my family because it's a little bit of validation for everybody that we all do have, our side of the story, and it's based on our perspectives. So, today would have been my dad's birthday. He did pass away. It's been 16 years now. And so today is June 5th, 2013. And I've glanced at my dad's chart. He died in 1997 when I was 29 years old. So what do we know about being 29 years old in astrology? Well, we know that that is our first Saturn. I had my first Saturn. My whole entire life was radically being turned upside down. I'd had a mobile dog grooming business for about 10 years. Trained, many young women to groom and run their own businesses, and it was such an exciting time of my life, from my 20s to 30s, having my own little empire in my community, and my dad was a part of that, seeing me get to do that. In fact, he even wanted to learn to be a dog groomer so that he could come out in the van with me. My dad and I were super, super, super close. And I was at a period of time, though, where the business was breaking down, and I didn't know what was happening around me. Then I was pregnant, and I just felt like I was crazy, because when you're pregnant, I'm going to tell you guys right now, you're crazy. You're flipping crazy. That's all I'm going to say. It's just, how crazy are you? It's a crazy time, because your whole entire chemistry and bios and energies and everything are completely out of whack, and you have another life magnetically in you, putting off all their energies that are being developed. And so you're just, you're just wild. And it can also be a very scary time. My thoughts got very negative during that time. But I also didn't realize I was in my first Saturn. So that can also create a lot of negative thoughts and depression. So I was going through some really dark times, and I was having to really let go of this business. And I had made the decision to sell the business to each one of the girls. Like, here, you take your van with your clients, you take your van. And I split up the business and basically sold it off in the middle of this. So it was very hard for me. It's something I'd built for 10 years, and I have a really hard time letting go of things, guys. I'm like so sentimental, and so when I love something, you'll never have anybody love you like me. When I love something, I love it all the way through, and so to let go of something, Saturn has to do a lot of radical things, and he did. My dad passed away suddenly. Although he did have a lot of medical problems, he did pass away suddenly. In fact, he was a worker. He, even while he was retired, he always had a little job, and he had a job as a security officer for a gated community. And about 2 a.m. in the morning, he had an aneurysm and it immediately passed away while he was working. So what does that tell you about this man? In fact, at his service, so many people were like, we had no idea he had so many health problems because he was this stellar man. And he was so wise, and he was just, oh, he was such a great example. I'm sorry, I got to check my time. I can't see out here. Oh my gosh, you guys. He was such a great example. And for me, I was born 10 years later. I have two older sisters that are 9 and 10 years older than me. Yes, I have a Scorpio, Leo, Leo, Scorpio rising, Leo sun, Leo moon sister. And I have a Virgo rising, Scorpio, Gemini moon sister. And I'm a little Pisces, Virgo, Pisces sister. I was the baby, so you can see the family dynamics unfolding just by that knowledge, right? So here I come along 10 years later. I'm like this little angel.